when we reach the target section, all of the things we possess, this state is a reflection of our inner feelings. An impulse, an imagination. These impulses, imaginations, and feelings within us, they are quite vague. So we need to transform these impulses and imaginations into a concrete image. There's actually a crucial step in this process, which is gathering information. So gathering information actually is part of character development. The Bodhisattva is another type of character, isn't it? It has already been personified as a character, so our search for targets can be broken down into two parts. The first part is to search for relevant information with a clear goal in mind, which means this part falls under the browsing category. You can search for this image on Baidu. Alternatively, you can search for images of these bodhisattvas on Google. They can be of Indian origin. It can also feature Chinese bodhisattvas. They can be from the early period. They can also be from a relatively later period. They can be modern. They can also be artistic representations. All of these can be gathered together. At this stage, it's a relatively broad browsing context. Regarding this part, when discussing this section, in other words, this part, while you are browsing, your perception may lean towards a certain direction, or it involves a process of concretization. All right, then, you gather these images. This is known as the preliminary selection. These images represent the initial selection of materials. During this process, when looking for images, images can also lead to many changes in your thinking, as well as some shifts in awareness. This process takes time. I can't go through this process myself. The approach is straightforward. You just need to go straight to a picture website. Various image websites. Videos work too. But the process, it's really long, isn't it? You may have to download it. You'll need to look for it. You have to sum it up. So this is definitely a process. All right, let's dive deeper into it, which is all about gathering information. This really makes it concrete. Okay, the first step in gathering information is the initial selection. The purpose of the preliminary selection is to identify the first option. The images give you some clues. Images, materials, and so on give you clues. There are also hints from related texts. It's related. Since I'm not fully familiar with Buddhist content, I can't fully say it's spiritual, but I'm not really familiar with it. So basically, I began with the spiritual aspect. You need to grasp this. It's about the Bodhisattva, some aspects of him, his realm state and attire, because the Bodhisattva evolves with the times. He draws from the secular world, the clothing of this world and this gear, this attire, from these things. He draws a lot of inspiration. This is what you need to grasp. Next, it's about specifying a goal. This is the initial selection. The second step is detailed selection. Through detailed selection, you'll establish a goal. It follows the aforementioned goal. It needs to be made clear. Detailed selection. Detailed selection means you begin to clarify things. The most crucial part of detailed selection, it will involve a classification. There will be different categories. We'll discuss it in detail later. For instance, when it comes to categories, once refined, we will have categories. For instance, we categorize. As for our bodhisattva, you'll need to pay attention to a few key parts. The first aspect is our dynamics. The Bodhisattva has its own dynamics. Secondly, regarding this Bodhisattva, there will be a certain expression. It's that kind of feeling, the calm and serene kind of expression. It will have various expressions. Some of these expressions can touch you, even if you're not completely satisfied with the original work. You might want to add that kind of expression, the synthesis of expressions. And there are also some elements. Well, this object includes many elements. Here we are. Let's show a picture. Because this image, I've already categorized it. I've basically identified some categories. Let me show you roughly. Take a quick look. For instance, let me show you all a picture. Here's a picture for everyone. This one is also from me. This one really highlights the issue. This is also from the National Museum in that country. It's a title displayed on the wall. This part represents two types of sculptural art, Buddha and Bodhisattva. This title refers to this part. Here's the Bodhisattva, and here is the Buddha. We won't go into this. Today, we're not focusing on the statue-making part. You can have a look at it. Well, the Bodhisattva can be categorized into. In fact, things can be categorized as, besides the body, things can be categorized into hair strands. This refers to the form and shape of hair. So based on understanding, this actually means that this type of hair strands and their shapes, it was influenced by many factors from that era. Take the Tang Dynasty, for instance. Many bodhisattvas exhibit this style, this type of hairstyle. It's directly influenced by the popular women's hairstyles of that era. Or we can say it's about minting money in this condition. The second is this headpiece known as huafo. What does huafo refer to? Let's have a look at this image. Everyone will get it. Painting Buddha is just this. This crown-like state on top. There will be a Buddha statue. Symbolizes among this bodhisattva. There is such a thing as becoming a Buddha. Faithful. In this place. When he does this, it is like a lotus. The state of the lotus leaves in this curled form. In fact, it also symbolizes the Buddha. This reflects the state of the Buddha. In ancient times, especially in the early days. This did not exist at that time. There was no representation of the Buddha. It was simply a flower. A lotus flower symbolizes the Buddha. It signifies the Buddha's realm. Thus, at times, this depiction of the Buddha. This section is basically just it's a combination of a crown and a Buddha statue. The crown here refers to what we just talked about. It's the circle that holds the hair in place. It's a type of decorative item. It's a decorative item. Additionally, some have a halo. In other words, it radiates a kind of light from the back. This represents a manifestation of the Buddha nature. There's more underneath. There's one missing in the middle. There's a white clam between the two. In other words, there are certain depictions of bodhisattvas. It will be in the center, similar to the shape of a third eye. It will feature a white clam. White clams are often seen in ancient sculptures. They are crafted from the most precious gems to polish them into a round shape, and then set in the center of this Buddha statue. Let's check if this one is available, and it is. Do you see it? This one isn't very clear, but it is there. Can you see it? This is set with gems embedded in the middle. It turns into a white oyster. The white oyster shines. In other words, it shines. All right. For the fourth one, let's take a look down. Let's take a look. It's the collar. Collars come in various forms as well. Collars can be quite intricate. It's really beautiful. There are also some very simple designs. This one has to do with how it was shaped back then, so we can also look for some of its styles. Place it in this section. Now, let's take a look at the arm. We can see the wall penetration here. This hole is where it goes all around the entire upper arm. It's also a decorative element. Let's keep looking below. We can see the shadow falling. The shadow also serves as a decoration. Some have it, while others do not. There are also some garments. We refer to this as the clothing of the Bodhisattva. We refer to this as celestial clothing. There are also skirts available. This is known as the upper skirt. And there is a lotus pedestal below. Essentially, these are the components. So we will divide it into two parts. The first part is about the essence of the Bodhisattva, which refers to the physical aspect. The second part relates to the aspects of things. We need to distinguish between them. Classification, physical aspect. Let's break it down in detail here. Body. Parts of the body. We'll make a rough division. Parts of the body. Let's break it down roughly. The first one is what we refer to as dynamics. Dynamic. Facial expressions. And a few others. Hair muscles are also part of the body, aren't they? Hair muscles that grow from the body. However, it comes in many different forms. And then there are some that refer to the components of things. Let's go ahead and remove these two. The components of things are categorized as follows. We just saw that earlier. Got it, sketch Buddha. This is one component. The second one is this. Maintain the crown. Keep the crown safe. Keep the crown safe. If it's good enough, we won't bother writing it down. It's simply a round shape, because gems are usually shaped like this. I'll jot it down. There's another one called Bai. Training in Bai. Is that so, training in Bai? Bai has been worn. That's how it should be. Worn by. Here it is. This one. And then there's a shadow. And there's also a celestial robe. Clothing. Upper garment. The door. There's no lotus seat here. This is what we specifically call a seat. Or we can call it a connected seat. Well, this one, you can take a look. Here are some seats. This will be available. Basically, this is it. Basically, these are the ones. As for these, we can categorize them accordingly to collect specific poses of it, to gather some pictures and poses of it. This way, we can obtain what we want. After the collection is complete, you need to act according to our motivations and goals. Go to filter these materials, then delete the unnecessary ones as well. Save the valuable references together. This is a part of our data collection, the following part of the video. Then I might give everyone a brief explanation. Just because there is this purpose, there is some information later. It's essential for us to have this analysis. This is a dynamic analysis. These materials and analyses are important. The key point is this dynamic aspect. This is because we are beginning the production process. We have a type of dynamic production to demonstrate this type of production. And then gradually, these can also be further refined after we begin. We will gradually collect and refine these materials, then gradually make some adjustments. This is also a constantly evolving process. Sounds good.